Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to my channel. My name is Paul, the Canadian Snowman, here once again with geography. Now, we're on to, how do you pronounce it? Mauritius? Sorry, I'll find out in 2 seconds, though. Don't get mad. But yes, anyways, just like always, we're going to find out some cool, interesting things about this country. And yeah, everything's going to be brand new to me because I've never heard of it. I'm sorry. I'm just being honest. Just being honest. I might have heard of it, but I must have forgot about it. All right. But okay, let's jump into this. Please hit that like and subscribe, please, and thank you. If you're from this country, let me know in the comments. All right. Ready? 3, 2, 1, bam.
Geography Now t-shirts! Get one! GeographyNow.com. Hey everybody, years ago, do you remember how we did the Comoros episode and I said I couldn't find anybody from Comoros, but I got the next best thing, a dude from Mauritius? Well, you guys remember Nick, my one Mauritian friend. Say hi!
Hey guys, great to see you again.
Nick will be co-hosting with me for this episode. Nick, what is the one thing about Mauritius you'd like everybody to know?
Well, actually, I'm born and raised British, but you know, my heritage, yep. Woohoo!
Good enough.
It's time to learn geography
Now! Hey everybody, I'm your host Barbs.
And I'm Nick.
Now, if you don't know anything about Mauritius, it's basically like the Singapore of Africa. Small, yet economically thriving with lots of luxury accommodations.
Okay.
Nick, you've been here, right?
Yep.
How would you describe Mauritius?
I'd say it's a beautiful little island, a good cross-section of people, beautiful food, completely tropical.
Well, let's find out more about this tropical island, shall we?
Welcome to Dodo Land.
Right.
Now, although Arab traders and Portuguese had already passed by Mauritius, it wasn't until the Dutch came in and actually colonized it in 1598 and named it after the Prince of Holland, Maurits de Nassau.
And a lot has changed since then.
First of all, Mauritius is an island nation located about 700 miles east of Madagascar and includes the main island of Mauritius with the second largest, Rodriguez, and the outer islands of St. Brandon, which is an atoll of desolate reefs and small islets.
Temporarily populated and only about 70 people, and the furthest island, Agaliga, which has about 300 people. Otherwise, there are 49 smaller uninhabited islands and islets that lie off the coast of Mauritius.
Further off to the center and northeast, Mauritius has a dispute with Tromelin Island, which is administered by France, and the Chagos Archipelago, which is administered by the UK, as part of the British Indian Ocean Territory.
The country is divided into 9 districts. One is called Pamplemousse, which means grapefruit, with a capital and largest city, Port Louis, located in the northwest part of the country.
If you fly to Mauritius from abroad, though, you will fly to the largest and busiest international airport, Sir Siusagar Ramgoolam International, which is located on the complete opposite southeast side of the country, about 26 miles away from the capital.
Wow.
Otherwise, the only other airports they have are Sir Gaetan Duval Airport, located on Rodriguez, which only flies to and from Mauritius Island, and seasonally to Reunion, and a small airstrip on Agalega.
The second and largest cities are Beaubassin and
I mean, do you really need more than one airport on the island, though? I mean, it's not that big. It's not like 26 miles. Oh, no, They make it sound like, oh, my God, they only got one? Like, do you really need more? I don't know.
To Reunion, and a small airstrip on Agalega.
The second and largest cities are Beaubassin and Vacoas, located roughly near the general Port Louis metropolitan area.
Speaking of which, kind of like how we studied in the Jamaica episode, a lot of town names in Mauritius are kind of funny sounding if you translate them. Many are either in French or Mauritian Creole.
And each have a backstory as to why they're named that
Mauritius.
way. Places like,
Mon goût,
which means my taste,
Mon désert,
my desert,
Belle ombre,
beautiful shadow,
Nouveau découverte,
new discovery,
and the last one,
Britannia. All the roads kind of spider web outwards from Port Louis with modern skyscrapers. The tallest one being the 22-story hurricane-resistant bank of Mauritius building, reaching over 124 meters in height.
Not only that, but all around the main island you find way too many amazing historical sites and places of interest, such as the Eureka House,
The Botanic Garden,
the Champ de Mars,
the Flack Market,
Water Park Leisure Village,
Pont
Nice.
au Piment Aquarium, the Bazaar of Port Louis,
the Triole Shivala Hindu Temple,
shopping at Grand Bay,
the Balaclava Ruins,
the Dutch ruins of Vieux Grand Port,
and if you can, see if you can make it to Agalega Island, check out the cliffs and shores of Rodriguez.
and if there's one thing you definitely need to check out though, it would have to be the nature and landscape, loaded with lots of beauty and tragedy. I was
Wow.
discussing that.
Beautiful.
Mark Twain once said heaven was copied after Mauritius.
And if you come, You'll find out why.
First of all, the country is located on the Mascarene Plateau, an elevated underwater ridge that used to harbor volcanic activity, though today Mauritius only has dormant volcanoes.
The country may be small, but harbours a few mountain ranges like the Mocha up north. But the Black River range holds the highest peak at 800 meters.
Piton de la Petite Rivière Noire. Just a skip away, you find the largest water body, the Mar aux Vacoas Reservoir, and east of that, the longest river, the Grand River southeast, all while the entire country is surrounded by coral reefs.
The country has about 335 kilometers of beaches all around the coast.
Wow.
However, unfortunately, only about 12% of it is truly public, as many of the beaches have been taken away for private use, which has caused outrage among many citizens.
Otherwise, the other outlying dependent islands like Agalega and St. Brandon are flat, while Rodriguez has small hills and
So I'm guessing, yeah, if you have a house on the beach, I mean, obviously it's a private beach, right? So I guess all the private, guys with the big money purchase everything around the coastline, and they only have like a few places saved for, I guess, tourism and the locals, right? That kind of stinks. I mean, I guess it depends, right? I mean, if you're a local and you want to go to the beach, I mean, you guess you get stuck with all the tourists. There's no like secret getaway kind of beach for the locals who kind of know like the ins and outs and everything. You kind of have to stay with the tourism area. So I can see for the ones that live inland how that might not be that great.
Independent islands like Agalega and St. Brandon are flat, while Rodriguez has small hills and both have easier access beaches. Now, besides beautiful waterfalls like Tamarin or the scenic volcano craters like Trou Surf or the Lemon underwater waterfall, Mauritius has a lot of strange things going on.
For one, the 7 coloured earths. This fascinating natural phenomenon of sand, decked in 7 different colours. It never erodes and stays the same way even after rainfall.
La Pouche Peak is where you can have a 360-degree view of the entire main island, and the Mont Brabant Mountains has a sad story of slaves that hid and jumped off when seeing police that were actually coming to tell them that slavery had been abolished.
In terms of flora and fauna, the country has about 700 species of flowering.
Dang, that's insane. Like they thought they were coming for them, and they were like, "No, I'm not doing slavery." And they killed themselves. In reality, they're there to save them. And that's a messed up story right there. That's sad.
That slavery had been abolished.
In terms of flora and fauna, the country has about 700 species of flowering plants. 246 are endemic.
Including the last 2 bois dentelle trees left in nature in the world, possibly the rarest. These are found on Piton Grand Bassin Hill, known for their fluffy, detailed, bell-shaped flowers.
Due to the introduction of foreign plants that have overrun the environment, like guava trees, almost all the bois dentelle would have disappeared if it weren't for human interaction. And of course, we cannot talk about Mauritius without mentioning the national animal, and unfortunately extinct Dodo Bird.
This 3-foot-tall flightless wonder went extinct in the 17th century due to the number of factors like hunting and invasive species, and today is not only the mascot of the nation found all over souvenirs and merchandise, but has lived on in worldwide recognition through literature, pop culture, and media.
Aww.
Yes, always in our hearts. Dear, sweet Dodo.
Otherwise, with Mauritius, the economy is pretty diverse. They have the 3rd highest GDP per capita in all of Africa, with an average annual salary of about $22,000.
Industry, banking, and service sectors employ the most people, especially after Mauritius has seen a huge tourism boom in the past few decades. The largest exports are textiles, fish, and sugarcane. Mauritian food is very diverse as well. You have national dishes like Mauritian-style roti with 7 curries,
Gâteau piment,
Mauritian-style Chinese fried noodles,
salted fish and lentil soup,
the national street food, dal puri,
merveille,
boulette poisson,
bol renversé, and aigre doux.
and they all look so good and distinctly derived from multiple people groups, which makes the perfect transition into...
It's okay. I mean, not my kind of food, but
Now,
it's good
when it
stuff.
comes to Mauritius, the biggest question usually is, what does it mean to be Mauritian?
Well, the answer may shock you. Click here to find out. No, I'm just kidding. First of all, the country has about 1.3 million people and is the most densely populated country in all of Africa, with about 624 people per square kilometer. Now, here's the part that kind of frustrates me. Mauritius hasn't really had an ethnic background questionnaire on its census since 1972, so today there are no statistics that accurately specify what the percentages are on ethnic makeup.
However, it's generally accepted that somewhere around 2/3 of the country are Indo or Indo-mixed Mauritian.
So basically, anytime you like fill out, you're going to apply for something, and it has that. I always wonder, like, why do you need to know this? On those pieces of paper, or when you're sign up for almost anything, it feels like they ask that question, like, does it matter, like my religion or background or race or whatever? But Nah, I figured it out now. It's for geography now videos because that's the only thing that makes sense. Yeah.
But it's generally accepted that somewhere around 2/3 of the country are Indo or Indo-mixed Mauritian, as in from India, whereas the remaining third comes from a whites, mostly British or French descent. Asians, mostly Chinese descent, and black Africans, most of East African descent.
They use the Mauritian rupee as their currency, they use the types C and G plug outlets, and they drive on the left side of the road.
Now here's the interesting thing. Mauritius doesn't have an indigenous population.
Nobody knows exactly who discovered the island first. Wax tablets were found that may have belonged to the Greeks or Phoenicians, but the Arabs were the first ones to officially record landing on it.
But they didn't really care and left.
Then the Portuguese came in and briefly stayed, but they didn't really care and left.
Finally, the Dutch came in and became the first to officially inhabit the island.
Over time, the French and then the British took over, and then they brought with them slaves, and then slavery was abolished, and then indentured Indians and Chagos people and Chinese people were brought over.
Years passed by, and they
Wow.
made babies, some mixed, and here we are today.
That being said, Nick, you being Mauritian, what exactly is your specific ethnic background, do you know?
So yeah, my mum, she's a mix of African and French, and I believe that's the original Mauritians. As later on, the Indians came into the government and into bread, and now you'll look and see someone says they're Mauritian, and they actually look fully Indian, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I believe the African-French mix is the original Mauritian.
Cool. On top of that, the funny thing is the vast majority of people in Mauritius are at least trilingual or quadrilingual.
English
Wow.
and French are their administrative languages.
They also speak their native mother tongues as a third language, which could be anything from Hindi to Hakka, Mandarin, or Bhojpuri.
And Mauritian Creole as the fourth, which is used interchangeably between everyone.
Mauritian Creole is mostly French-based, and it's strange. They will literally switch between all four on a daily basis. For example, geography Manish wrote this.
Kaise, Hababua.
Ah, bonjour, je voudrais ouvrir un compte en banque, s'il vous plaît.
Sure, just draft these documents right here, please.
Oh, excuse me a sec. Oh, bonjour, mon camarade. Nous parlons manse mine frit tanto. Ton envie vin avec nous? Manish also said, weirdly enough, during Hindi song competitions, the presenter speaks in French, and the subtitles are in English, and the song is in Hindi, and if the participant is interviewed, he speaks Creole.
Interesting, huh?
Yeah.
When it comes to dividing up groups, though, most statistics prefer to look at the faith denomination chart rather than race.
Mauritius is one of the only 3 nations in the world that has a Hindu majority, the others being India and Nepal.
Hindu temples and shrines are everywhere.
Ganga Talao Crater Lake is considered the most sacred Hindu site in the country, with multiple temples devoted to gods and goddesses like Shiva, Hanuman, Ganga, with an annual pilgrimage.
Otherwise, Christians make up a third of the population practiced by all different races, Indian, Chinese, and whites. Islam is practiced by about 17%, mostly Sunnis from Pakistan and India. And finally, there's a few Baha'i and unaffiliated people as well.
Culture-wise,
Okay.
it all pretty much depends on which community your interaction is with. All over you hear Sega songs that are songs sung in Creole.
Rugby has been gaining popularity in the past years, and they have just won the first Olympic medal in boxing with athlete Bruno Julie.
Otherwise,
Wow.
yeah, Nick, what else do you think about Mauritius? What are some things you noticed when you were there?
I tell you, there's a big surfing community there. There's lots of surf dudes all out on the beach enjoying themselves. There's O'Neill Billabong shops everywhere, and generations of families sitting on the beach, dancing and eating food out and all sorts.
Hanging
That's
with family.
cool.
Yep.
Nice. Some notable people of Mauritian descent or from Mauritius might include Sir Siwo Saga Ramgoolam, the first Prime Minister,
Kaya,
Malcolm de Chazal,
Ananda Devi,
Nobel Prize winner Jean-Marie Gustave,
Brown Sicard,
Jean-Alphonse Ravaton,
Jane Constance.
and Cardinal Maurice Piat.
So, as you can see, Mauritius is a real melting pot of people.
And the way how they branch out and interact with the world is even more diverse. Let's find out in
Friend zone.
The beaches are look really nice too, and the fact that they do speak English. I don't know, that'd be kind of a cool place to hang out and I don't know, like chill at like a bar or something, just to see, I guess, how much the Mauritians let loose. Seems like a cool place to kind of hang out and visit.
Now, when it comes to their friends, Mauritius has a lot of clues to their history. First of all, with France, as a former colony for almost 100 years, French culture permeates everywhere.
Including the Creole that they speak. Mauritians actually grow up watching French cartoons and French dub shows. Export is important between the two as well. However, they have a little rivalry with the French overseas territory of Reunion. They jokingly call Mauritius backwards India, and Mauritians call them European wannabes. China is a close friend because Mauritius acted as a kind of like launch pad from China into Africa, since they already had a large community of Chino-Mauritians.
When it comes to their best friend, though, usually most Mauritians will say India. Prime Minister Paul Raymond Berenger has said that there's an umbilical cord relationship between India and Mauritius.
As one of the only 3 majority Hindu populous nations in the world, Mauritius holds an endearing role to the political hearts of India. They have a double taxation agreement with India, making them the most important foreign investor. They donate a ton of money, loans its ships to fights off Somalian pirates, sends actors and singers to perform.
In conclusion, Nick, what would you say?
I would say Mauritius is a beautiful, tropical, colourful island where Africa and Asia meet in a new, thriving economy.
Nice, nicely said. Stay tuned, the big guy, Mexico, is coming up next.
Mexico. Or Mauritius. Wow. Definitely like I guess a little island that pops. It just has very seemed like, obviously that's not one island, but I guess I'm just thinking about the main island, very there's a lot of people living there, I thought, it'd be more like sparsely populated, but no, a lot of people living there. Got a lot of tourism going for it now, and like the GDP's up there. I mean, so it's like pretty rich country, and yeah, it's very interesting. Like a lot of countries have been there in the past, so there's a lot of different kind of histories and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely very cool stuff. Let me know if you've been there or been there, visit there. It's the same thing, or you live there, or maybe anything else kind of cool facts that I left out. How you like life there? Is it how you like? I guess. I don't know, like neighbors and everything. Has it? Everyone's pretty cool with each other, and just like an awesome, friendly place to live. Let me know. Anyways, guys, hit that like and subscribe button below. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you continue on doing Mexico tomorrow. Excited about that too. But anyways, peace, and I'll catch you guys in future videos. Thank you guys for watching. You guys are amazing.